Welcome everyone. In this video, let's initialize NextJs project and install Tailwind CSS. I've opened an empty folder inside of VS Code and type npx create next app dot dash dash ts to say it to use TypeScript. And let's hit enter and let's wait for its installing. Until then, I would highly recommend you to use two extensions. First one is the official Tailwind CSS IntelliSense extension, which searches for Tailwind config file, and if it found one, it helps us with nice IntelliSense, as you can see in this picture. And yet another extension is Headwind, which actually sorts the classes in specific order. So all the classes we are adding to a particular HTML element will be sorted in a particular order, so we don't have to think about it. And the installation is complete. Now let's install Tailwind CSS. To install Tailwind CSS, we have to install three packages actually. So the three packages are the Tailwind CSS itself and post CSS, which actually modifies your CSS after it's been compiled, and auto prefixer, which adds vendor prefixes to your CSS. So these are the three packages that we're gonna need, and installing them doesn't do anything. So we have to initialize the Tailwind project by typing npx tailwind css init dash p. P specifies to generate a post CSS config file also. So as you can see, we have two files, tailwind config and post css.config.js. In this file, we have one important property that we have to change. That is this first one, purge. What basically purge does is it scans your directories that you specify for it and removes all the classes that are not used. So that's what purge does. So we have to specify it, and how we specify it is look into the pages and look into any folders deep and search, and for all the files ending in .js, ts, jsx and tsx, similarly in components, you just purge the unused classes. That's what this line means. And yet another thing we are going to use is mode as JIT. So JIT, which stands for just in time, it's a particularly new thing in Tailwind CSS, which actually generates classes on the fly. One last step, go to your styles and global.css and replace everything in it with these three lines of code, which is the directives for Tailwind. Open your terminal and enter npm run dev to start a dev server, and it will start at port 3000 of your local host. And if you just open your browser, it will take some time to load, and then after compile successfully, you can see here, let's see if it has built the page. And there we go, we see welcome to Next.js. And let's test actually if Tailwind works. So go to your pages and index.tsx and replace everything just inside of the return. Let's do a div with hi there. Let's give it a class name of bg green. You can see this IntelliSense working, bg green 500, and event compile successfully. Let's check our browser, and we see Tailwind is working, so we can see this green background. So let it confirms that Tailwind's working. From the next video, we will start building the UI.